and welcome everybody to Headlock Field, where today's matchup is between the Falmouth Navigators and the Portland Bulldogs. Portland, coming into this season, had a hot streak going into the playoffs and finished pretty well, and so far they've built on that momentum, starting 2-0-1 with their last game being a 5-5 tie, shortened sixth inning game. But Portland looking to continue their winning this season. And so they'll be coming in with their batting order of Colby Winship, Mason Rang, Henry Bibbo, Grant Crosby, Andrew Laguerre, Andrew Brewer, James Gignac, Carter Page, and Nathan Isajar. It's a windy day, but sunny out compared to Tuesday where it was raining. But Falmouth, they opened up with a win against Wyndham. It was 12-2. Dom Tracy had 5 strong innings pitched and only gave up 4 hits and no runs, striking out 9 batters. Eli Cowperthwaite had a 3-run triple, and Brady Coyne and Tyler Simmons had 2-run singles each. So offensively, Falmouth in their first game went off, you could say, and they're looking to keep that momentum going against a red-hot Portland team that finished off last season not finishing the way they wanted to, but they've started off 2-0. Today, Falmouth will start in their batting order: Miles Gay, Brady Coyne, Eli Copperthwaite, Ethan Hendry, Patrick Gill, Tyler Simmons, Mitchell Ham, Brennan Rumpf, and Eben Daniels to round off their batting order. Here we go for the start of the game. Portland defensively in the outfield, left to right: Colby Winship, Carter Page, and Andrew Brewer. In the infield, left to right: Mason Rang, Henry Bibbo, Nathan Isajar, and Grant Crosby. At catching is James Gignac, and the starter for Portland is Liam Fay LeBlanc. Here we go. Leading off for Falmouth is Miles Gay. And Portland and Falmouth played twice last year. It was a doubleheader. Falmouth winning both times, 13-2 and 10-0. So Portland looking for some revenge. It's a 2-0 count. It's up high for ball 3. And it's in the dirt for ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk to start this game, and Gignac is going to talk to LeBlanc to settle them down.
It's a pretty windy day here again. Seems like the wind hasn't stopped blowing since the beginning of April, and we're at the end. And we'll keep our eye on Gay at first. See if he takes off. He's got a good-sized lead.
And it's popped up. It's Isajar, and he gets the out. And just like that, Portland with one out after a leadoff walk.
Well, it's nice to see the first pitch for a strike as an out.
Now batting is Eli Cowperthwaite. And it's on the outside corner for strike one. And LeBlanc checks on Gay and throws it away, but doesn't roll too far.
Which is a good thing because, sometimes a runner is aware as soon as they slide that the ball's gotten away from the first baseman and they'll take off to second.
And in the dirt for ball one.
Bigger lead at first now.
In the dirt for ball two. It's a 2-1 count. And lefties are tough to steal on because they can step sideways and throw over to first compared to righties where they have to turn around. And that's popped up, and that's also to Isajar. So both outs are Nathan Isajar's. So Ethan Hendry is coming up for Falmouth with 2 outs. Miles Gay at first. And LeBlanc checks on him again.
It looks like he almost has him fooled, but the runner definitely gets back in time.
And second time in a row checking on Gay, keeping him honest. And Gay takes off, and it's not going to be in time.
Great jump. He was figuring what would the odds be that he's going to throw over 3 straight times.
In there for a strike.
I think it's
It's an 0-2 count.
yeah, the scoreboard hasn't been turned on yet, so
Up high for ball one.
I think we're about to get Don's microphone hooked up and the scoreboard turned on, so we should have it for the bottom of the first.
And a swing, and it's bobbled.
Wow.
So,
And as we saw in the last game, this is the reason why you run that ball out. You can't just assume the catch is going to make a good throw down to first. And, Falmouth now with runners on first and third.
So it goes down as a strikeout, but not an out. It's in the dirt for ball one for Patrick Gill.
And that's really too bad, because if there's a fly ball to the outfield, with the way the wind is blowing, anything could happen.
And on the outside corner of the plate for a strike, it's 1-1. Miles Gay on at third. Ethan Hendry on at first. And it's fouled back for strike two. It's a 1-2 count. Up high for ball two.
Yeah, and and it also prolongs the inning. The pitcher starts having to throw more pitches.
And Hendry takes off, and it's launched into left field, and it's over everyone's head.
Yeah.
Gay scores. Hendry coming around to score. And so Gill with a 2-out double, scoring 2 runs.
And as I said, that's what I was afraid of, is a ball hit out to the outfield. Up into the wind, with the wind blowing straight out, that ball took right off.
So Tyler Simmons, the DH, at the plate. And that's hit into right field, and that drops. So back-to-back hits for Falmouth. So it's 3-0.
It's really amazing what can happen from just one errant throw.
And in there for strike one to Mitchell Ham. It's fouled back. Strike two. It's 0-2 count. And it's fouled back again. Up high for ball one. 1-2 count. And Simmons takes off, but it's fouled.
Well, and the other thing about this long half inning is the pitcher for Falmouth has been warmed up and sitting in this cool weather, waiting to get out on the mound.
And LeBlanc checks on Simmons. And it's popped up, but in the stands. So Ham fouling off a couple pitches to stay alive at this at-bat.
Well, and I'd have to say, because I don't quite know the pitch count, but I'd have to say that the pitcher for Portland has probably thrown more pitches after the errant throw than he threw before the errant throw.
And it's a swing for strike 3. So Portland gets out of this inning, but not after Falmouth scores 3 runs in the top of the first. Portland coming up. So Falmouth now on the field. So defensively in the outfield, left to right, Tony Severino, Miles Gay, and Eben Daniels. In the infield, left to right, Mitchell Ham, Brady Coyne, Brennan Rumpf, and Patrick Gill. Catching is Ethan Hendry, and pitching for Falmouth today is Eli Cowperthwaite. Here we go for the bottom of the first. Colby Winship leading off for Portland. It's down low for ball 1.
So Portland with a little hole to dig out of, but the good thing is that they have the whole game in front of them.
And it's hit over Coyne into left center.
Well, and there's your start right there.
The third baseman, number 9, Mason Rang.
Mason Rang at the plate for Portland with Winship at first. And it's a lefty-lefty matchup. And it's ripped foul near the Portland dugout. And swing for strike 2.
Yeah, a little late swing there.
And on the outside corner for strike 3. So after letting a hit, Cowperthwaite comes back with a strikeout.
Yeah, you know, you're right about a lefty-lefty matchup because it's not that often you see the 2 starting pitchers being lefties.
Henry Bibbo at the plate, and Cowperthwaite checks on Winship. Doesn't have a big lead. And it's a swing and miss for strike 1.
Well, now the scoreboard is on, so we're all set. Better late than never.
And another swing and a miss for strike 2.
Boy, this pitcher for Falmouth is just dropping that ball. It must, I mean, he must have a drop on that pitch because the Portland batters are swinging, you know, like waist high and the ball's like down in the dirt.
And Cowperthwaite checks on Winship again. And every time the pitcher throws over, the runner gets, and it's a strike 3 call. The runner gets a sense of how far they can go before the ball can get to the first baseman.
Well, you know, This may be a good time for a potential hit and run. We'll have to see.
Grant Crosby at the plate. And strike one. And another swing and miss.
Boy, Copperthwaite has got them quite fooled here.
And on the outside corner for strike three. So after letting up the leadoff hit, Copperthwaite comes back with 3 straight strikeouts to end the first inning. So after one complete, it's Falmouth 3, Portland nothing. And here we go for the top of the second. Brennan Rumpf leads off for Falmouth. And it's hit foul. So Falmouth has a chance to add to their lead. And it's a strike 2 on the outside corner.
Well, I would have to say that was a little bit more than outside. Looking at it, it looked like it went through the left-handed batter's box.
And it's hit out to center. And Page gets the out.
The right fielder, number 6, Eben Daniels.
Eben Daniels at the plate for Falmouth with 1 out. And it drops in on the inside corner for strike 1. Up high for ball. It's 1-1 count. And it's foul tipped for strike 2. It's up high for ball 2. It's 2-2 count. And just outside for ball 3. So it's a full count with 1 out. And that's hit into left. And Winship gets the second out. So back to the top of the lineup for Falmouth, Miles Gay. Up high for a ball. And it's hit into right. And that's caught by Brewer. So all 3 outs were by each outfielder to end the top of the second. So after 1.5 complete, it's still Falmouth 3, Portland 0. And here we go for the bottom of the second. Andrew Legier batting for Portland. And it's hit foul. Strike one.
It's a very windy, blustery day here, and I'm sure you can hear the sound of the wind on our microphones. Can't really tell until we hear the playback, so if you do, sorry about that.
It's down low for ball one. It's 1-1 count. And it's a swing strike for strike two. And foul tipped to stay alive.
You know, you just have a feeling that, I mean, they're so close to hitting those pitches and foul tipping them off like that. It's just a matter of time before they connect.
And it's fouled back.
And I think that cleared the roof. It's out on the street. And hopefully when I meant by they'll connect, it didn't bounce out on the street and hit a car going by.
And it's dropped by Hendry, and he picks it up and throws him out. So it's a strikeout for Copperthwaite. That's his fourth.
Wow.
So the last 4 outs have been strikeouts.
Well, the only 4 outs. Yeah.
Andrew Brewer at the plate. Drops in there for strike one.
Well, you know, the leadoff batter for Portland got a base hit. So the no-hitter or perfect game is already gone.
And it's ripped past the third base and shortstop for Portland's second hit.
Well, you know, maybe that's the opposite jinx. You know, like when the announcer says the field goal kicker hasn't missed one all season, then he misses it. Well, maybe what I just said, maybe they'll start hitting.
James Gignac at the plate with Brewer at first. And it drops in there for strike one. And it's foul tipped for strike two.
So you need to be here when you're doing it. Occasionally they have some live sync. So you could what
So I did. I would just ask you.
yeah? You get to pick. I pick Jimi Hendrix.
That would be something. This is
And a time was called.
so I hit that.
And this is
This is just one of those.
that's not that's my neighbor, Allison Johnson and her daughter.
And Copperthwaite checks on Brewer.
Johnson. They both graduated.
So what you would do at this point is you would pick one that you like.
Yeah?
You would cue it up, and all that means is when you're doing this,
And it's
Says go.
hit to the shortstop
be in the right spot.
coin.
Talking, right?
And he throws to first base for the second out.
That was a real good play right there. He definitely wasn't going to get the runner at second. Nice throw over to first to get him out, though.
Carter Page now at the plate for Portland, and Hendry going out to talk to Copperthwaite.
Hit pause. He's going to control the volume? Okay. Nifty. So we'll leave that here for the second game.
And Page rips it foul. Brewer on at second. And it's a swing and a miss for strike two. Copperthwaite one strikeout away from getting out of this inning. And it's outside for ball one.
You know, the outfielders are playing in. If he just gets a hold of this and puts it between the left fielder and the center fielder, they could run all day.
And it's a swing and a miss for the fifth strikeout for Copperthwaite. And Portland leaves one stranded. So after two complete, it's Falmouth 3, Portland 0. Here we go for the top of the third. Brady Coyne leading Falmouth off. It's in there for ball one. It's up high for ball two. Up high for ball three. In there for strike one. It's a 3-1 count now.
Batter taking it all the way. See if he even swings at the next pitch.
And it's hit foul.
Off the side of the Expo.
So LeBlanc fighting back to make it a full count. And it's fouled back into the netting.
And the thing about high school ball is they'll track down that ball that went off the Expo and bring it back into play. The one that went over the roof out on the street, I doubt that they'll track that one down. But they do reuse all these baseballs. None are tossed out like the Sea Dogs.
And it's on the inside for ball four.
Yeah, that was a 50-50 chance there. I think where the catcher caught that ball, he looked back at the umpire like, that was pretty darn close.
So Eli Copperthwaite is at the plate with Coyne on at first. And it drops in there on the inside corner for strike one.
That's exactly where the last pitch was.
Coyne with a big lead. And a throwover attempt is not in time. And it's a bunt.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And Gignac picks it up and throws the first for the out.
Boy, you couldn't have deadened that baseball any more than he just did.
So 1 out now for Falmouth with Ethan Hendry at the plate. Coyne on at second now.
Ethan Henry.
On the outside corner for strike one.
And it looks like a pitcher warming up in the Portland bullpen. That doesn't necessarily mean that they'll come in, but
And a time called by the batter.
well, in minor league baseball, that potentially could have been called a ball for taking too long to throw it in.
And that's hit in the air, but in the stands. So it's a 0-2 count.
So, Seth, we were watching a Binghamton AA baseball game last night on April 27th. And what was it doing during the ball game?
It was snowing.
It was snowing in Binghamton, New York through the whole ball game on April 27th.
And it's a grounder to Rang, and it goes by him. So runners on the corner for Falmouth on that error.
The first baseman, number 10, Patrick Gill.
So Patrick Gill has a chance to widen the lead for Falmouth.
Yeah, with just one out, and they really do got to be concerned with the runner on first taking off to second.
And Hendry is checked on. So Coyne is on at third. Hendry is on at first. And Hendry takes off, and the catcher fakes the throw, not wanting to chance the runner at third coming home with only one out.
Yeah, you had to figure he was going to go fairly quickly here early on in this at-bat.
Pitch is outside for ball two. It's ball one. It's a 1-1 count. And it's ripped foul down the third base line.
Well, and the runner on third, now I realize he scooted out of the way, but he's got to remember he has to stay on the outside of that line, because if the ball hits him anywhere on the inside of that line, he's out.
And it drops in there on the outside corner for strike three.
Boy, did he ever need that pitch.
So Tyler Simmons at the plate with 2 outs. Coyne on third, Hendry on second. Chance to score 2 runs here. It's down low for ball one.
Yeah, Portland needs a nice easy out here.
And it's fouled back. So it's a 1-1 count. Up high for ball 2. And it's a swing and miss for strike 2. It's a 2-2 count.
Oh, Portland pitcher needs a good pitch right here. Take care of business.
And it's popped up. And it's in the stands. And it's ripped into left center. Coyne comes in to score. Hendry comes in to score. So Simmons with a 2 RBI single to take Falmouth's lead to 5.
And there's going to be a pinch runner, number 20.
The third baseman, number 14.
Tony
Michael
Severino, who is the left fielder, is pinch running. And checking on Severino. And at the plate is Mitchell Ham. On the outside corner for strike 1. It's fouled back for strike 2. And Severino checked on again. And a big lead. It's up high. It's ball 1. Up high for ball 2. And Severino is checked on again and called safe.
He does have a... He's got a huge lead, but he's getting back in there. I mean, he just doubled his lead.
And it's ripped into right center. Severino going to third. So Ham with a single puts runners on the corners. So Brennan Rumpf has a chance to widen this lead
The second baseman, number 9, Brennan Ruff.
for Falmouth.
And we'll see if the runner on first takes off here.
And it's hit into right center. And Page gets the third out. But not after Falmouth scores 2 more runs to make it a 5-run lead. And so after 2.5 complete innings, it's Falmouth 5, Portland 0.
2 hits, 1 error.
Leading off for Portland in the bottom of the third is Nathan Izahar. Up high for ball 1. It's down low for ball 2. It's low for ball 3.
And the pitcher that for Portland that was warming up has gone into the dugout.
In there for strike 1, 3-1 count.
So not sure if that pitcher will be coming in the top of the 4th or whenever.
And it's in the dirt for ball 4. So Portland with the leadoff runner on base.
The left fielder, number 11, Colby Winship.
Colby Winship comes to bat with no outs.
Well, and the good thing about this is with the runner being held on and Winship being a lefty, that gives a little bit more room there if he can just plunk it through the infield.
It's in there for strike 1. And it's hit into center, and Gay with a diving catch.
Boy, that was beautiful.
So that puts Winship away for the first out.
The third baseman, number 9, Mason Rang.
And there was no one behind him, so if that ball got by him, that's scoring at least 1.
Yeah, it was hit hard enough to keep going.
It's a swing and a miss by Mason Rang.
Yeah, you got to be pretty confident you're going to at least knock it down if you don't catch it.
On the inside corner for strike 2. It's down low for ball 1. And a swing and a miss for strike 3.
Yeah, that was a tight inside pitch, but, you know, once you start swinging, it's tough to stop.
So Henry Bebeau at the plate for Portland with 2 outs. Isahar still on at first. So Copperthwaite now has 6 Ks in this game so far, and Issachar takes off and is safe.
He's out there. This is funny. He goes into second base standing up, and he brushes himself off to his teammates, like, hey, I got here, didn't have to slide. Love it.
So Portland now with a runner in scoring position. It's in the dirt, and Issachar takes off, and it's above Ham's head, but Severino is there to back up the throw.
Well, that was a good guess on that one. And now his uni is dirty. So there you go.
So Portland now with the runner 90 feet away from getting their first run. And it's a ball on the
Whoa.
inside. It's a 2-1 count. And it's hit back to Copperthwaite and throws over to first to get the third out. And so Portland was threatening, but Falmouth stops that. So after 3 complete, it's still Falmouth 5, Portland 0.
Portland nothing.
Here we go for the top of the 4th. Evan Daniels at the plate leading off for Falmouth. And the first pitch is on the inside corner for strike 1.
Well, and I have to say that we're watching a baseball game in football weather.
And swing and a miss for strike 2.
And as you were suggesting, Seth, I think I need to get one of those pouches that the football players wear around their waist to put their hands in between plays.
And a strike 3 call.
Good quick work.
3 pitches for the strikeout.
The center fielder, number
So back to the top of the lineup, Miles Gay. So far he's been walked and flew out to right field. He also has one of the runs for Falmouth. And the first pitch was foul back for strike 1.
Yeah, attempted to bunt, which drew, now the third baseman for Portland drew him in.
And Miles Gay also has a stolen base. It's up high for ball 2. And fouled back. So a 2-2 count. And it's ripped into left field for a leadoff hit.
Yeah, that was a nice line drive hit. One hopper to the left fielder.
Sorry, a 1-out hit.
The shortstop, number 2, Brady Coyne.
So Brady Coyne now up at bat with 1 out. Miles Gay on at first with a big lead, and it's fouled back. So it's an 0-1 count. And Coyne, so far this game, has popped up to second base and also got walked. And he also has touched home plate for one of the 5 Falmouth runs.
So the key word there was he got walked. So these last 2 batters were walked and scored.
And
Oh,
it's a pickoff attempt.
and he had him leaning.
And it's in the dirt for ball 2. It's outside for ball 3. And a pickoff attempt. And Falmouth are wearing white pants, so every time Portland tries a pickoff attempt and they slide, getting their pants dirty, and it's a pop-up. And the first baseman, Crosby, calls everyone off and gets the out.
That was great communication. You could hear him all the way up here.
The pitcher, number 22.
So batting with 2 outs for Falmouth is Eli Copperthwaite. And so far in this game, he's popped up to second and grounded out. So 0 for 2. And it's another pop-up, this time in foul territory. And Gignac gets the 3rd out.
You know, that's for a catcher, and you're spinning around, you're coming out of, where you line up there, scooch down behind the plate, and you got to find that ball. That's good.
So after 3.5 complete, it's Falmouth 5, Portland 0. Here we go for the bottom of the 4th. Leading off for Portland is Grant Crosby. And it's low for ball 1. And swing and a miss for strike 1. In there for strike 2. And it's ball 2. So it's a 2-2 count. And the inside corner for strike 3.
Yeah, the batter none too happy about that call, but in high school ball, it's a very large strike zone.
So that's now 7 Ks for Copperthwaite. And swing and a miss for Andrew Legier. Another swing and a miss for strike 2. And it's fouled. And a swing and a miss. It's dropped by Hendry, and he throws the first. So that's now 8 Ks for Copperthwaite.
The right fielder, number 27.
So batting for Portland with 2 outs is Andrew Brewer. On the outside corner for strike 1.
And I believe Copperthwaite pitched last year. I'm not sure if he's a junior or a senior. Maybe you can check that out, Seth.
It's called ball. And he's a junior, so it's pretty good when you're pitching this well and still have another year in high school.
Wow.
And it's a dribbler in the infield, and Copperthwaite throws him out for the 3rd out.
Well, and that helps too when the pitcher's got to make a bang play like that he's got a good strong arm.
And so after 3 up and 3 down for Portland, after 4 complete, it's still 5-0 Falmouth. Here we go for the top of the 5th. Ethan Hendry leading off. And so Portland with a pitching change. Aiden DeMillo comes in for Liam Fay LeBlanc. And it's fouled back for strike 1. And DeMillo is a righty. So we'll see if Falmouth tries to steal more often. In the dirt for ball 1. It's a 1-1 count. And Hendry, so far in this game, has 2 of the 5 Falmouth runs. On the first inning, he got on base on a strikeout that the catcher dropped and overthrew. And Hendry gets out. And he also reached on an error by the third baseman.
Nice play by the pitcher coming into the game.
So Patrick Gill now at the plate. He had a 2 RBI double in the first. And he has one of the 5 runs for Falmouth, and he struck out in the 3rd. And so strike 2. And it's foul tipped. So 0-2 count. And it's fouled back. So Giel staying alive. And it's tried to check his swing and goes around for strike 3. So that's now 2 outs.
We have a pitch hitter for Falmouth, number 34. Unfortunately, he is not listed on the roster.
So pinch hitters number 34 for Tyler Simmons.
The batter is 34, John Tracy.
So
And we had I think a parent come all the way up here to let us know who the batter was. So who is the batter?
it's Dom Tracy.
Oh, so I could hear Don. He said he's listed as number 5, but he's wearing number 34.
And it's 2-2 count. And it's a strike 3 call. So it's a quick inning for DeMillo coming in to relieve LeBlanc. And so after 4.5, it's still 5-0 Falmouth. And here we go for the bottom of the 5th. James Gignac at the plate, leading off for Portland. On the outside corner, strike 1. It's fouled back.
And for this game, Seth, we have a little kid running through the stands to get the ball. Last game, we had adults running through because it's pretty empty.
And down low for ball 1. And another strike out for Copperthwaite. That's his 9th.
The center fielder, number 3, Carter Page.
So batting now for Portland with 1 out is Carter Page. Up high for ball 1. And not too often do you see a pitcher as dominant as Copperthwaite. It's a strike 2. And he definitely has command of the strike zone this game.
Yeah. I mean, he's had some pitches in the dirt, but he's been right around the plate.
And swing and a miss for the 10th strikeout.
The second baseman, number 8, Nate Izahar.
So at the plate is Nathan Isahar. And on the outside corner for strike 1.
I mean, Portland does have 2 hits, but they've been struck out quite a few times.
Down low for ball 1.
You know, the first batter for Portland led off with a hit, and then they've had one in the meantime. Another one.
And swing and a miss for strike 2. And swing and a miss for strike 3. So Copperthwaite strikes out the side.
3 up and 3 down.
And so after 5 complete, it's still 5-0 Falmouth. Here we go for the top of the 6th. Leading off for Falmouth is Mitchell Ham. So far in this game, he's struck out and got a hit. It's in there for ball 1. And so I didn't get to say what Tyler Simmons did, seeing that he got pinch hit for. He had 2 singles and 3 RBIs in this game, and it's hit into left center, and Brewer gets the first out.
The second baseman, number 9, Brennan Ruff.
Now batting is Brennan Rumpf. Oh, sorry. It was right center. And it's hit out to right. And Brewer gets the second out. So Rumpf has now got 3 outs, 2 to the center fielder and 1 to right field.
The right fielder, number 6, Evan Daniels.
Eben Daniels now at the plate. First pitch is a ball. And Daniels flied out to left and struck out. It's up high for ball 3. And right down the middle, strike 1. And it's in the dirt for ball 4. So a 2-out walk for Falmouth.
The center fielder, number 16.
Back to the top
Gay.
of the order, Miles Gay. Daniels with a big lead. And it's in the dirt for ball 1.
I would say big lead is a minor understatement, because by the time that pitch was let go, he could have been a quarter of a way down there.
And Daniels takes off, and the throw is off.
Yeah, I think that first time he was just kind of gauging how far he could get away from first. And the second pitch, he was off and running.
So Gignac went out to talk to DeMillo. And it's ball 3. So what could have been a quick inning has turned into a jam. And it's hit into left center. And Page gets the third out. And so Falmouth strands 1 in the top of the 6th. So after 5.5, it's still 5-0 Falmouth. Here we go for the bottom of the 6th. Leading off for Portland, Colby Winship. And so far, he's got a single in the first and lined out to center field in the third. And Portland, this is their third time through the lineup. It's hit foul to the left field side. And let's see if Portland can figure out Copperthwaite. And it drops in there for strike 2. And it's a swing and a miss. It's the 12th strikeout of this game for Copperthwaite.
Your attention for Portland, batting for Maine, number 21, Ryan Becker.
So pinch hitting for Mason Rang is Ryan Becker. It's a 1-1 count. And so Mason Rang struck out both times that he was up. It's in the dirt for ball 2. And it's hit foul. And it's in the dirt for ball 3.
A 57-foot curveball. You have to have a feeling that that ball just kind of got away from Copperthwaite because he was kind of, shaking his hand a little bit.
And it's a walk. And that's only the second walk this game for Falmouth.
33, Henry DeBow.
So Henry Bibeau at the plate for Portland. And so far, he struck out in the first and grounded out in the third.
And no one's warming up in the Falmouth bullpen.
It's probably safe to assume that if Copperthwaite continues to pitch like this, he'll probably complete the game.
Yeah, that walk was probably just a little blip.
I think you'll see the shortstop. They're going to take the guys on the shortstop.
Runner staying close to the bag.
And it's outside for ball one. And checks on Becker. And a time called. And it's hit to the first baseman. Throws to second base for just one out.
That was beautiful. Wasn't quite sure he was going to come up with that. You know, he went down, he picked it up, and took a few steps and threw the runner out at second. That was a way to stick with that one.
The first baseman, number 22, Grant Crosby.
And so Grant Crosby coming to the plate has struck out both times. He's been up.
And that was good to get the lead runner.
Pickoff attempt. And in the dirt for ball one. And another pickoff attempt. Quick to the plate, but it's a ball. And another pickoff attempt. And in the dirt for ball three.
Yeah, I mean, Maybe he's tiring here.
On the outside corner for strike one. It's a 3-1 count. And swing and a miss for strike two. So it's a full count with 2 outs. So Bebo will be off with the pitch. And in there for strike 3. And so that was strikeout number 13 for Copperthwaite. And so after 6 complete, it's still Falmouth 5, Portland 0. Here we go for the top of the 7th. Leading off for Falmouth is Brady Coyne. It's down low for ball 1. It's ball 2. And swing and a miss for strike 1. And on the outside corner for strike 2. So it's a 2-2 count. In the dirt for ball 3. So full count to Coyne. And it's on inside for ball 4.
The pitcher, number 22, Eli Copperthwaite.
So Eli Copperthwaite is now batting with Coyne on at first. And it's past Gignac. And Coyne gets to second. And it's a 1-0 count. And it's hit to right center. And Brewer gets the out.
The catcher, number 7, Ethan Henry.
So Ethan Hendry coming to the plate.
And you have to wonder if it was a closer ball game, if Coyne would have taken off, tagged up and taken off to third.
And it's hit to Issahar. Throws the first for the second out.
The first baseman, number 10, Patrick Gill.
So Patrick Gill now batting with a runner 90 feet away from scoring. And it's hit into right center, and it hits the ground for a single. And so that scores Coin to
Well,
make it 6-0.
and as I was saying earlier in the game, it's very windy, and it's taken until the 7th inning for the wind to play a part in this ball game. But you could just see that ball drifting. I think he had a beat on it, but it just kept drifting and drifting away from him.
And another pop-up.
We'll have to see
That's
what
in
happens
foul
here.
territory. And Gignac gets the third out, but not after Falmouth scores a run to make it 6-0. So after 6.5 complete, it's Falmouth 6, Portland 0. Leading off for Portland is Andrew Legier. So some changes for Falmouth. So in right is Eli Copperthwaite. At second is Mitchell Ham. Dom Tracy is at third, and coming in for relief is Brennan Rumpf. And then strike three.
The right fielder, number 27, Andrew Brewer.
So Andrew Brewer now up. It's fouled back. Down low for ball one. Up high for ball two. It's a 2-1 count. And it's popped up to Coin, who runs out onto the outfield grass but gets the catch for the second out. So Portland down to their last out.
Number 4, Jimmy Gignac.
So James Gignac at the plate. It's in the dirt for ball one. It's on the inside corner. for strike one.
Gignac can't believe that call.
It's 2-1 count. Yeah, if they called balls and strikes like they do in the majors, high school baseball would last 4 or 5 hours.
For a 7-inning game. It'd be like the Red Sox Yankees every single game.
And it's popped up, and it's in the stands. So it's a full count with 2 outs. So Falmouth down to their last strike,
Yeah,
winning this game.
it'll be amazing to see Red Sox Yankees game when, as they call it, the pitch timer is implemented in the major leagues. How much time they'll lop off a game.
And it's a swing and a miss, and it's throw over to first, and that's the ball game. And Falmouth with dominant pitching from Eli Copperthwaite, getting 13 strikeouts and a total of 15 strikeouts altogether for Falmouth. And so at the end of this one, it's 6-0. And I mean, there's not much you can do when the other pitcher is as dominant as Copperthwaite was.
Yeah, I mean, his command of the strike zone was unbelievable. He had the Portland batters fooled on some pitches that they took across the plate, and he had them fooled on some off-speed pitches. Yeah, he was pretty dominant. This was a tough one for the Portland batters to try to figure out. Not to take anything away from the Portland batters, but as you said, a dominant pitcher is definitely going to rule over a batting order, and a lefty to boot, and that's tough.
And for Falmouth, all you can ask for as a pitcher, especially when you're on the road, is give me a lead before I even touch the mound. And it was 3-0 after the top of the first. And sometimes getting a lead before you hit the mound can relax you more because you're not having to worry about giving up runs.
Well, yeah, that's very true. And that's a gift. Any pitcher will take, even one run before they have to hit the mound, but they got 3, and there was no turning back from there. And the dominance and the strikeouts, when you're not putting the ball in play, you can't make things happen. And so, unfortunately for Portland, it's a tough loss. It's not by a lot of runs, considering the way that this game could have gone. A lot of good plays on the Portland side kept them in this. And then we'll have to see what happens next time.
And so Portland won't play Falmouth unless it's in the playoffs. And we could see Copperthwaite again. But after this one, it's, again, 6-0. And saying so long. This has been a production of TV3 Portland Public Schools, saying so long and good night.
See ya.